Hello guys, it's your girl Natural. Welcome back to my channel. Please do me a favor if you have not already. Please go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. Hit the bell so you know whenever I post a video. So I want to talk to you about how much we loved Outer Banks. It is a show on Netflix. I'm not really going to tell you the plot of this show. I just want to talk about like how I loved it. Okay, so if you have not seen it, probably don't watch this because you're going to get a lot of spoilers. First of all, I went to school, I went to university in Savannah, Georgia, which is very, very close to Hilton Head, South Carolina. And the show takes place in South Carolina. And I just want to say that the culture, I feel like, is like spot on. It's like spot on. The only thing is it's a little bit, you know, fantasized. It's a little bit not completely realistic. It doesn't show you sort of like the really real poverty that exists in, you know, Savannah, Georgia, South Carolina, that kind of thing, that, you know, the New Orleans type people who you know, are like really the backbone of those cities. They don't really show that. They don't really address too much of, you know, racist type tropes that happen there, but it's got a diverse cast. So it's got a diverse cast. They're looking for the treasure, whatever it is. And I actually really, really like the way that they interweave race and slavery and, you know, history of the South, you know, plantations and all of that stuff is kind of interweaved within like the dilemmas that these characters face. Primarily, I feel like Ward Cameron, Rafe Cameron is a huge metaphor for just like white privilege gone wrong. Like, tell me if you think something different, but I feel like they are a huge metaphor for what happens when power and money gets in the hand of people who are not well, right? And it turns out totally terrible. Sarah Cameron, I feel like, represents that nugget of hope. I guess the woke white people, if you will. People hate me using the word woke. So I'm just going to keep on using it because, you know, what's happened is the dominance has taken it and made it seem like it's something that it's not. You know, I just hate it. I really like the dynamic between all of the friends, you know, between Pope and Kira. You know, there's this love triangle going on between Pope and Kira in the beginning. And then it kind of switches to JJ and Kira and focuses more on, you know, JohnB and Sarah. So I really, really like that. I love the fact that Pope ends up to be related to, what's the plantation owner's name? You know what I'm talking about, the plantation owner. And, you know, I did a little bit of research when I was looking into the show. Apparently, you know, the cross to Santo Domingo and all of that stuff is pretty much made up. Which to me, you know, like my mom, my mom is really like way more militant than me. She's like, I can't watch that. She's like, this is not really a step forward. This is they're not even, you know, they're not even what did she say? They're basically, she was saying like they're not tackling the issues of race relations head on or whatever. But I think it's way more subtle than that, and I, for one, like that. I feel like that's the difference between boomers and millennials. I like the fact that they're not constantly talking about Pope's race, you know, and I feel like that's the Pogue thing. I feel like that's what makes the Pogues so interesting, is because you see people of different backgrounds, you know, white, black, whatever, but they're Pogues for life, you know. And like me and my husband, we've even starting to sign off on some of our texts and stuff, Pogues for life, you know, P4L, whatever. I really love the fact that this show is like a slow burning show. I mean, my husband and I, for like, I would say 2 or 3 weeks, I think we went through all three, what is it, 3 seasons? I think we went through all 3 seasons in like 2 or 3 weeks. And, you know, like, we have a business that we run, so we can't always sit down and watch it. But when we had the time, like, we were so concentrated on it. It's so hard in this world to, like, concentrate on something and really concentrate on it. Either you're on your phone or you're answering emails for work at the same time. You know, my husband works in construction, so all the time he's like on the phone talking about, you know, what the work site he needs to be at the next day, what materials they need to get, and all that stuff. And so it's very, very rare that you just sit down to a show and it's so entertaining that you don't want to do anything else. You know, we live in this age of like the low attention span. But I tell you, I guarantee you, we literally could not turn away. Because, you know, it just, there's treasure, there's discovery, there's love, there's the dynamics between the parents and the kids. Big John's alive, you know. It's like, I really, really loved it. I really feel like the characters were very, very well written. I feel like there is a little bit that anyone can get from it. Anyone meaning young, old, you know, conservative, liberal, you know, any background, any race. I feel like anybody can basically watch this and see a little bit. And not as much representation, I think, on the you know, Asian or Hispanic sort of representation. Most of the cast is really just black and white. So I think that they could have definitely, you know, done a little bit better on that part. But I do think that this show was an indirect confrontation of especially the Confederate South, like the Confederate South's nasty past, and kind of handing that back to, you know, the black people, the indigenous peoples, and then also, you know, there's this Caribbean sort of thing that comes into it. Cleo comes in later. So they're even sort of addressing, you know, they used to say that, you know, France didn't have a South, they had Haiti. You know, it's like the Caribbean, you know, Jamaica, Haiti, places like that, they were like the American South. So I really like that they drive in those characters. And I think that Rafe reminds me a lot of Donald Trump. Does. I mean, I think that that is just that dynamic of when money and power gets in the hands of people who really, really don't have emotional intelligence and who might have some sort of mental illness. I loved it. I think that, yeah, I think it indirectly approaches some of America's problems. Even some things about misogyny kind of comes in there, like the dynamic between Sarah Cameron and Rafe Cameron. You know, his baby sister, even though he thinks he's the man of the house, but he's clearly not well. I mean, he shoots at his own sister. Like, who does that? I even like the younger sister. I can't think of her name, but even she has an important role in all this. The stepmom, you know, Sarah Cameron and Rafe Cameron, their stepmom. She's really into all this with Ward Cameron. Big John. Oh my God. Guys, when Big John died, like, we were like, oh my God. Yeah, outstanding cast. I really also like Pope's character. I love the dynamic between Pope and Cleo coming together. You know, I like that they took two people, just like they did with Sarah and JohnB, you know, two people with the same skin color. You know, people just think, oh, it's same skin color, but they have completely different backgrounds, completely different histories. And it just, I mean, I think that the moral of the show is that basically love overcomes adversities, love overcomes corruption. And, you know, Ward Cameron, even him sacrificing his life at the very end, I think that was his redemption moment. You know, I feel like he had done so much crappy stuff. I'm so glad that they got the treasure by the end, because it was what they deserved. You know, they had worked so hard at this. I was really surprised that Topper kind of cracked out towards the end. What do you guys think that was about? Like, I feel like Topper, he represents something too. I feel like this whole show is based on, like, the writer, you know, the writing is just beautiful. So that's pretty much what I got for you. I really, really liked it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Did you guys like it as well? Tell me what you thought about all the different characters. Oh my God, the ending. I can't wait. This means that there's going to be another season. So I'm going to be looking out for that. I'm also really looking forward to the Princess Charlotte or Queen Charlotte, whatever it is, the like playoff of Bridgerton. Yeah, I hope they put out some more Harry and Meghan content. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. And remember, if you have not already, please remember to like and subscribe. Click the bell so you know whenever I post a video. Okay, bye. Bye.